औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम नहमदुहु व नसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम अम्मा बअद फ़अऊज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. How are you, my dear students? Hope you will be fine and will be in good status of health. Starting with this beautiful prayer, Allahumma arfa' al-bala'a wal-waba'a. ऐ मेरे प्यारे अल्लाह हमसे मुसीबत और वबाई बीमारियों को हटा दीजिए. आमीन सुम्मा आमीन. In the last lecture we discussed peritoneum, retroperitoneum and various pathological conditions which can affect these areas. Continuing this topic further, today I will discuss with you the mentum and the mesentery. This is a small topic, but it will complete your topic on the peritoneum and its variants. So in mentum we will discuss its anatomy, pathological condition and surgical importance, and basing on these our learning objectives for today's discussion are: what is mentum, what are the parts of mentum, what are the functions of mentum, and what are the pathological conditions of mentum and their treatment. Starting with definition, what is mentum? This is a basic definition, and I am sure that you are all aware of its definition. As you know, mentum is a fold of peritoneum which extends from the stomach to the adjacent abdominal organs. And there are different sayings about mentum. Aristotle described a mentum as a warm, fatty material attached to the stomach which speeds digestion by its warmth. So in his view, its warmth accelerates digestion by its temperature, while Rutherford Morrison developed the concept of the mentum as abdominal policeman. Why it is called policeman? You all know that it acts as a role of police, and you know that where there is a crime, police try to reach there. So whenever there is any inflammation or pathological condition inside the peritoneal cavity, a mentum try to overlap this condition by wrapping around this area. That's why it is called abdominal policeman. So what are the dimensions of mentum? It extends from the greater curvature of the stomach to the transverse colon, and while from lesser curvature it extends up to the liver. It hangs like an apron in front of the small intestine, and in this journey it is folded back on itself to be attached to the transverse colon before reaching to the posterior abdominal wall. Its right side is longer and larger as compared to left side. There are different parts of greater mentum. It is divided into two parts. First part is called gastrocolic ligament, and it extends between the first part of the duodenum and curvature of the stomach to the transverse colon. It contains the right and left gastroepiploic vessels. And this fat apron, it hangs from the transverse colon to the free peritoneal cavity. Regarding its blood supply, it has two major arterial supply, that is called right and left gastroepiploic arteries, which anastomosis and form rich arterial supply, while venous drainages into the portal venous system through these named vessels, right and left gasoepiploid veins. The second part is called lesser omentum. It is again a double-layered entity suspended between the lesser curvature of the stomach and the proximal 2 cm of the first part of the duodenum inferiorly and porta petus and the fissura of the ligamentum venosum superiorly. It is divided into two ligaments. One is called hepatogastric and the other is called hepatoduodenal ligament. It contains the hepatic triad, branches of the anterior vagus nerve, some lymph nodes, and the right and left gastric arteries. So what are the functions of the omentum? It functions as deposit organ for the fat in the form of adipose tissues. It has immunity like Milt's spores, which are due to the macrophage collection in it. It functions to isolate various wounds and infection inside the peritoneal cavity. It limits intraperitoneal infection spread and are many times found to encircle the concerned areas of trauma or infection. It also functions to absorb the edema. Lymphatic system, its lymphatic system has an enormous capacity to absorb edema fluid, and its cells also act as a stem cells or certain stem cell derived products to heal certain conditions. Another part of this is lesser sac or mental bursa. What is this? This is a potential space behind the stomach. It is demarcated interiorly by the podded lobe of the liver, the stomach, lesser omentum, and gastrocolic ligament. Posteriorly, it is marked by the pancreas. Its left lateral margin is made by the left kidney and the adrenal gland. Its boundary on the right side is made by the epiploic foramen and lesser omentum. What is epiploic foramen? It is an opening or window or door which connects lesser sac to the peritoneal cavity. This is also called foramen of Winslow. It is located just below the neck of the gallbladder, and its boundaries are interiorly by the right free border of the duodenohepatic ligament, which is the fold forming the right termination of the lesser omentum, while posteriorly is the inferior vena cava, which is covered by the peritoneum, while superiorly it is bounded by the caudate lobe of the liver, and inferiorly by the first portion of the duodenum and the hepatic artery. And this picture is showing how can we reach, or surgeon can reach or grasp the free edge of the lesser omentum by inserting his index finger behind the free edge of the lesser omentum and his thumb interiorly over the interior aspect of the free edge of the lesser omentum. That's how you can grasp the free edge of the lesser omentum and reach into the lesser sac. What is the clinical importance of omentum? It can act as a drainage system for collection in the interior aspect of the stomach. Is collected in the greater sac, and the collection below liver is collected in lesser sac through epiploic foramen. It also can lead to approach the retroperitoneum areas. What are the pathological conditions which can affect the omentum? These are various mental cysts. Second condition is mental torsion, and an infarction can involve the greater omentum. So what are the mental cysts? Regarding its etiology, these develop from the obstruction of the mental lymphatic channels. These can be unilocular or multinocular, and its various varieties are cystic lymphangioma, cystic mesothelioma, dermoid cysts or pseudocysts. And the clinical picture will be like this, which is being shown in the radiograph on your right lower bottom. Mostly these are asymptomatic, but sometimes a mass is palpable parabdominally when the patient present in your outdoor. Its complications are, it can get torsions, infarction or rupture, and it is diagnosed by CT, which shows fluid-filled complex cystic mass with septation, and treatment for these various mental cysts are Axion are these cysts. The other pathological conditions are mental torsion and infarction. You know that this is due to the axial twisting along its long axis. Here like this. And if a twist is tight enough or venous obstruction of sufficient duration, arterial inflow is compromised, leading to infarction and necrosis. Again, it is of two types. Primary, when there is no cause, and it is usually on the right side, and secondary is associated with other condition like when it is associated with hernia, adhesions or tumors. It is commonly seen in men who are in their 4th or 5th decades of life, and usually they present with abdominal pain, mostly on the right side, with nausea and vomiting in some cases, and on examination localized abdominal tenderness is found with some guarding, and its differential diagnosis include acute appendicitis, cholecystitis and twisted ovarian cysts. Again, diagnosis is usually made by the CT, which shows mental mass, and treatment is done with laparotomy and resection of the involved mentum and correction of any related condition. The third pathological conditions are mental neoplasms. These are usually rare and of soft tissue in origin. Mostly these are metastases that has spread transperitoneally from intra-abdominal cancers from other viscera. And its primary tumors are fibroma, fibrosarcoma, lipoma and liposarcoma. Then there is surgical importance of this greater omentum, with division of either left or right gastroepithelial artery and vasa recta along a greater curvature of the stomach, with mobilization of omentum from transverse colon allows development of a vascularized mental pedicle flap, as this is being shown in this diagram. And this flap can be used to prevent small intestine wounds, wounds of the chest wall, wounds of the mediastinal wound, or sometimes it is placed in the pelvis, thus preventing radiation intritus due to radiotherapy of the rectal cancer. Then we will discuss mesentery, and our learning objective for mesentery will be what is mesentery, what is peritoneum, formation of mesentery, physiological appearance of mesentery, functional importance of mesentery, and what are its various clinical conditions. Now tell me, what is mesentery? Well, you will know, that's right, peritoneum associated with the intestine is termed as mesentery, like this. Look at this. Is it not lovely? This mesentery is the fan-shaped double layer of peritoneum that suspends the duodenum and ileum from the posterior wall of the abdomen. This is mesentery. This is a cross section of the abdomen showing mesentery with peritoneal cavity. It's self-explanatory. So there are two varieties of mesenteries. One is called true mesenteries, the other is specialized mesenteries. True mesenteries connect the intestine to the posterior peritoneal wall. There are three components of this: the small bowel mesentery, the transverse mesocolon, and the sigmoid colon mesentery. While the specialist mesenteries are those which do not connect to the posterior peritoneal wall. These are greater omentum, lesser omentum, and the mesoappendix. So what is the function of this mesentery? It is meant to keep the guts in place and to limit the gut movements and prevent various viscera from the injury, and it also acts as a conduit to allow blood supply to the intestine. Then there are different pathological conditions which can involve the mesentery. These can be in the form of mesenteric lymphadenitis. This is inflammation of the lymph nodes present in the mesentery. They usually result from an intestinal infection. These are mainly in the children and teenage group. Often mimics the sign and symptoms of appendicitis in this age group. But unlike appendicitis, however, mesenteric lymphadenitis seldom serious and clear on its own. Second pathological condition is mesenteric ischemia. It results from the inadequate blood flow to the mesentery. It can lead to mesenteric infarction. It is more commonly seen in elderly people. They can present with severe abdominal pain and the presence of blood in the stool. And its causes are sudden drop in the blood pressure or atherosclerosis, or sometimes with embolus formation from the more proximal placed bigger vessels, either in the aorta or in the heart. This is the arterial supply of the mesentery. On your left side, while on the right side, this picture is showing mesenteric ischemia, which is due to the blockage at the level of the superior mesenteric artery. And its clinical picture is with infarction and gangrene of the involved segment. This picture is showing the result of mesenteric ischemia. Loops of the intestine have been resulted into the gangrene of the involved segments. Then in some person, mesentery, like the greater omentum, contains an additional quantity of fat. This increased weight tends to be elongate the mesentery by dragging and therefore predisposes to hernia. So these are various pathological conditions which can involve the peritoneum, and we have discussed superior mesenteric ischemia. The treatment of superior mesenteric ischemia is a little bit more specific in nature. This can depend which form of treatment is required in these patients. Usually they require emergency laparotomy with resection of the gangrenous portion of the small intestine and end-to-end anastomosis and evacuation of thrombus or embolus from the involved segment of the intestine, and herniation of the. In the end, I will again teach you that please strive. This will lead you to succeed and sustain your abilities. Thank you very much. May Allah protect you. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.